that's the name of the game. Keep running, keep striving, maintain the same hunger, that fire, that burning desire. In this long run, I'm reaching higher now. Long run, yeah, long game. Through the struggle, through the pain, I keep my eyes on the prize. Never lose sight in this marathon of life. I'm running through the night.
Make it here, and it's gonna be me and Jacob. And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Long Run with Piano Man. It's Big Ten Tuesday, and look who's back. Look who's back, everybody.
What's up?
What's up, Jacob? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, Jacob?
Good. It's good to be back on here. Yeah, last week I just was feeling sick and battling that and just didn't make the show, but I'm glad to be back, and we obviously have a lot to talk about.
Man, listen, this weekend was crazy, man, all the way up, even up until last night, and I did not watch the game last night. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I was not even interested in North Carolina and TCU. I'm not even remotely interested in Bill Belichick. Really never have been. I mean, good coach and all that good stuff, but I don't see what all the hoopla was about. But man, but for those that are North Carolina fans and those that are TCU fans, big ups to you. North Carolina took it on the chin, and but like I've been saying, Jacob, that job there at North Carolina, basically, Belichick is setting it up for his son. And once he retires, Belichick won't be there long. I think he's setting it up for his son, and his son is going to probably take it over and just take it from there. I think that's the setup. That's the plan, is to put his son in there as head coach sooner or later. So anyway, let's hop to it. But before we hop to it, I got to get to the chat. You know how I do it. Good morning, LaToya. Roll Tide. Good morning, Clinton Howard. Roll Tide to you. My producer, Dwight, is here. Good morning and roll tide to you. Let me see. Stephen Hicks, good morning. Roll tide, sir. Roll tide to you. I'm going up this thing. Good morning, Jeff. Roll tide. Yeah. Jeff said he's glad you're feeling better.
Thanks, Jeff. Yep, I'm glad to be back. A lot to talk about today.
Man, we got to get to it, bro. But I'm going to just address the chat right quick, and as they come in, I'll holler at them. Big dog got to eat. That's my friend out of Arizona representing them Vols from Tennessee. Good morning. Big Dean says he's still sick. I'm getting better, but I'm still on that effort, man. I'm still on the effort. And Big dog got to eat. Jeff, Steve, and Toy. Okay, good. Now let's hop to the news. Let's hop to the new comments right quick. Yeah. Good morning, Dr. Crystal. Roll Tide, roll tide. And good morning again to Uncle Jacob, who's here. Glad you're feeling better, big dog. Let's hop to it, man. Where you want to start, Jacob? Where you want to start, man? Just where you want to start on this Big Ten Tuesday. Where do you want to start? I know where I want to start.
Well, the first game of the day that really happened, probably one of the better games, was Ohio State and Texas. Yeah. So that's where my Saturday started.
Yeah.
What did you think about that game?
I told y'all that Ohio State was going to beat them. Here's what I looked at, Jacob. Here's what I looked at. And before the game started, I just felt like that the disrespect. Now, don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. I am no Ohio State fan by any stretch of the imagination, and everything. But Jacob, I kept telling everybody that Ohio State is tired of the disrespect. Think about it for a minute. You win the national championship, but who's all to talk about? Still Alabama. Nobody talked about Ohio State winning that championship. Like that. I mean, they won it. It's a reality. whether we like it or not, they won the Natty. But the thing about it is, other teams were being talked about, and then all summer, all you heard was Arch Manning, Arch Manning, Arch Manning, Arch Manning. They came up with a game plan. They made Arch do some things that he wasn't comfortable with doing. They made him make some mistakes. Ohio State centered their whole defensive scheme, not so much just around him, but I bet you they watched tendencies and things like that. So I just looked at it from the case of they were tired of the disrespect. Now, will they lose some games? Oh, yeah. They're going to lose some games. Ohio State is going to lose some games. Julian saying, I'll tell everybody, I'll go on record and say this, he's a good quarterback, but he's not an elite quarterback. He's not elite. But we're going to see. But I looked at it just from the thing of disrespect. And so that's how I felt. That's how I felt, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a few things I noticed about that game. First, I was pretty impressed, and I was honestly pretty surprised by how good Ohio State's defense played. They had a brand new defensive coordinator. Matt Patricia really called a really good game for Ohio State. They were breaking in a bunch of new guys on defense. They had a whole brand new defensive line. They had a few new guys in their secondary, and I thought Matt Patricia called a really good game. So it looks like Ohio State's defense is going to pick up where they left off last year, which is going to be pretty scary for everybody. And besides that, I guess the other main thing I just was so shocked about was just how bad Arch Manning looked. Not even from the perspective of, of course you have to take into consideration his first game at Ohio State, hard place to play. But if you really watch the game, a lot of his mechanics and his fundamentals were just off. He had a lot of throws that were just bad fundamentals. You could tell coming out of his hand, it wasn't going to be a completed pass. He just looked a lot worse than I thought he would, because everyone has to remember this is year 3 for Arch Manning. He's not a freshman or anything like that. He's been in Sark's system for 3 years. And I was underwhelmed. I've been on here saying I thought he was going to be good, but I said I like Texas's pieces around him. That's why I thought Texas was going to be so good. And I still think Texas has a really good defense. I think Texas is still going to be a pretty good team. But yeah, Arch Manning was just underwhelming. That was one of the big takeaways for me. I thought he was going to be a lot better than that. He looked like almost just scared out there a little bit. I don't know what was going on with him. I thought he was going to look a lot better. His fundamentals, like I said, just looked off. But besides that, it was a really good game. And I think my biggest takeaway was Ohio State's defense, man. They didn't look like they skipped a beat.
No.
And yeah, but also I do have questions about Ohio State's offense, like you said. It's kind of getting overlooked because at the end of the day in this game, if you win, life is good, and if you lose, it's not. And Ohio State did win, so things are kind of getting overlooked right now. But Ohio State can't run the ball right now. Right. And that's going to be huge when you have a new quarterback. You're going to have to find some balance. And I think Ohio State only averaged like 3 yards a carry. Right. They could establish no running game whatsoever. So those were pretty much my big takeaways, but it was a great game. I think both those teams are going to be good, and I think Texas is going to be fine. If I was a Texas fan, I wouldn't be panicked. But you need to see more from Arch Manning.
Right. I tell you what, I'm about to pull something up here, Jacob, and here we go. Here we are right here. Let's go with, you talked about stats and everything. And I'm a big stats guy. I love fooling with stats. Hey, good morning, Amber Nicole. Good morning, Nick Harden. I saw you, brother. Good morning. And before we go further, Jacob, I gotta ask Nick, how's your grandmother, man? His grandmother had a heart attack. And I know she came home. But how is she, Nick? So while we're waiting on that, here was now on the stats there, Jacob. We all know that the score was 14-7. So the stats are not going to be these astronomical stats because of the defense that was played. Both teams exhibited a pretty sound defense. Like you said,
Yeah.
Ohio State. Now, here's the catch, though. Texas had 16 first downs, whereas Ohio State had 11. Ohio State had 11 first downs. On their third down sufficiency, Texas was 5 out of 14. Ohio State was 3 out of 12. On their fourth down sufficiency, Texas was 1 out of 5, and Ohio State was 1 out of 2. Passing, like you talked, and from both quarterbacks, but you were very, very specific about Arch Manning, as was everybody. But 170 yards passing for Texas and 126 yards passing for Ohio State. The reason I'm going to bring that up is because, everybody was, all the world, especially those sports pundits, were talking about, especially the sports pundits. Good morning, Chuck. The sports pundits, Jacob, were talking about Jeremiah Smith. Now, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I said Jeremiah Smith was good last year because of the pieces that were around him. He had a decent quarterback. He had players around him, had a sound defense that would help get him back on the field, this, that, and the third. Here we go. I said that this year you're going to see just how good he is because now you got a new quarterback. You got a new running backs. O-line is basically, I think O-line is basically new, I think. And, you just you don't have that same caliber team. And you're going to see if he's the real deal or not. Now, he's the real deal, but he's just like any other quarterback that's coming in with a new system. For him, it's new. And so when we look at it, 126 yards passing, total yards, Texas was 336. Ohio State was 203. And so, Jacob, when you look at the stats, without looking at the final score, the stats suggest that Texas won the game.
Yeah, and another thing I noticed about watching the game, sometimes I like to take notes when I'm watching games, especially when I know I'm going to talk about them on here or something. Another key area where that game was lost for Texas was just the goal line. Ohio State made that goal line stand, and that's one thing I will credit Ohio State over the last 2 years. They have made probably 5 or 6 of those goal line stands where a team will maybe get down to the 1 or 2 yard line and they will just hold them for 4 straight downs. And that's exactly what happened to Texas. And it was almost a repeat of last year when they played them in the playoffs. They could they would march down to the goal line and Ohio State would make a stand. And that's what happened. They tried to do that quarterback sneak with Arch Manning on 4th down. They got stuffed. They got no push up front from their offensive line, and they turned the ball over, got no points there. And I was just going to say, you mentioned the passing yards and the overall stats. I think that is a little teeny bit deceiving, and I will just say that because a lot of those yards were in the 4th quarter when Ohio State was up 14-0, and they were playing a little bit of soft coverage and just trying to keep everything in front of them. So Arch Manning did kind of rack up some yards there at the end, and he did make that one really good touchdown throw. I will give him that. That was a great throw. But when the game was early in the game, when the game was tied or, the game was really in the balance, Arch Manning couldn't do anything. He did pick up some yards there at the end when it was 14-0. Like I said, and Ohio State was kind of playing soft coverage, and they just didn't want to get beat deep over the top, so they were just keeping everything in front of them. But I think both these teams really, in conclusion, are both good football teams. I wouldn't be too worried about Texas yet because they're not going to play a harder team than they just played on the road. But Arch Manning has to fix some things and clean some things up. But I think Texas has a really good defense. And
Right.
credit to Ohio State. I didn't think they were going to win that game. I just thought there was too many new pieces for them. 2 new coordinators, a ton of new guys on defense, a new quarterback, new running back. You lose 2 running backs to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You lose Emeka Ibuka, who is like your leader, veteran leader receiver in Ohio State, just didn't miss a beat. And credit to them. And even as a Michigan fan, got to give them credit. And that's what good programs do. That's what Nick Saban used to do. It doesn't matter who you lose as your coordinators. You just reload the clip and you keep on moving. And that's what Ohio State did. So I'll give them their credit.
Yeah. And since we're talking about that, and we're going to move on. If I look at the passer quarterback rating, Arch Manning had a quarterback rating of 58.
Yeah.
And Julian Sand had a quarterback QB rating of 74.5. And I think, like what you were talking about, it was deceiving. You see what I'm saying? And then I think that the yak yards had a lot to do with a lot of the things that were going on. So what we saw Saturday was 2 Titans going at it, and that game was not going to be a runaway by any stretch of the imagination. And it was not going to be a lot of points scored. And so I will say this: whoever, and I forgot what the over and the unders in that game was, but whoever took the unders, they're rich this morning. They're a rich person this morning. If anybody took the unders in this game, and I know people bet. Now, I don't talk about it much, but if anybody took the unders in this game, somebody is on Easy Street and got it made Boulevard, because
I hit on Saturday. I did hit one bet. I took Arch Manning over rushing yards. He did hit his rushing yard prop. His rushing yards was like 25, and he got like 34, I believe, or something like that, which I figured he would use his legs. And then I did hit, I parlayed that with Jeremiah Smith's under on receiving yards, like you talked about. Because if you remember the playoff game last year, Texas actually held him to 1 catch for 3 yards. So I knew Texas was going to scheme to stop Jeremiah Smith. Texas plays a lot of zone defense.
Yeah.
And Jeremiah Smith, if you really watched the games where he's went crazy, like Oregon last year in the Rose Bowl, it's mostly against teams that play man coverage. If you play man coverage against Jeremiah Smith, he's going to cook on you. But Texas plays a lot of zone. They bracket him multiple different ways. They always have 2 or 3 guys around him, and they really take him out of the game. So Texas, I'll give them credit for that. They have a really good game plan on how to stop him. Yeah. And like you said, too, just to further your point about the defense, just a good indicator in general. When you look at these early season matchups, the defense is usually ahead of the offense, because offense is more about timing, rhythm, and just things that take time, where defense, you can really just play free and physical and just, punch someone in the mouth. And that's why if you look at the LSU Clemson game, it was the same way, which isn't surprising. It was a low scoring game, because these offenses, they take time to click and find their rhythm. And as the season goes on, I think Texas and Ohio State both will develop good offenses. But when you see these big week 1 matchups, they're usually going to be lower scoring. Yeah. Just because defenses are usually ahead of offenses early in the season.
Yeah. And so, but once again, congratulations to Ohio State. I can say that's one game I got right there. That's one game I got right. I don't like them, but I just figured that they would win this game. And they did. And so it's now on to the next game. But right quick, good morning, Governor JB718. Good morning. Again, good morning to Stephen Hicks. Good morning, Bino. The GM is here. Good morning, Dwight, the producer's here. A lot of a couple of members of the 401k crew is here. I see Double A is here. Good morning, ma'am. Good to see you. Chuck Culver, man, good morning and roll tide to you. Man, we all licking our wounds. I like KT said. Good morning, KT. What the business is. You know what the business is. Yes, ma'am. Let me see who else has come up here. DSGB84, my brother from another mother. Yeah, him and Mr. P representing them dogs out of Georgia. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you, brother. Good morning. Nick Harden, good morning, man. and all that. And I think that's going to be about it for right now. Seeing others coming to the chat. So, what else happened in the Big Ten over the weekend, Jake?
Yeah, so that was obviously the marquee game, just to break down and talk about. But there was some other decent games. I'm trying to think. Penn State and Oregon really played cupcake, so there wasn't much to talk about there. Obviously, Michigan played their first game. I'm obviously a Michigan fan, so we did play New Mexico, so not a great team, but they were in the Mountain West at least, so better than like Oregon, who played an FCS school. But do you want to jump to the Michigan game, or did you have another game you wanted to break down, or I guess just?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. I'm sitting here looking at week 2 schedule.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here looking at it, and hold up for a minute, Jacob. This won't Big Ten Tuesday. Let's go with the Big Ten. Let's stay true to the game here. I'm not going to talk about. I don't want to talk about Western Illinois, Northwestern on Friday. We know how that's going to turn out. Northern Illinois. Now, Northern Illinois and Maryland might be a good game, but Maryland has this fire freshman quarterback, from what I'm hearing, who balled out in their first game. They freshman, true freshman, and he balled out. So, but they're playing. They're playing Northern Illinois, which will be a good game because Northern Illinois is known to pull a rabbit out the hat every now and then and beating a top 25 team. So Maryland's not even close to 25. And so
they just beat Notre Dame last year. So you never know what they could do. I think I saw the spread is 18 point spread, so it would be pretty shocking, but nothing, like you said, for Northern Illinois, they could definitely do it.
They can do it. And so I'll put it to you this way, and I'll say it, and 401k crew knows I'll say this, and the chat know I'll say it. Watch that game. Pay attention to that game. Now, even though it has nothing to do with neither here nor there, but watch Northern Illinois. Watch them against a team like Maryland. That might be their biggest game. I'm not sure about Northern Illinois' schedule. I hadn't looked at it, but they're playing Maryland.
I believe this is Northern Illinois' last year in the MAC, and then I think someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Northern Illinois is moving to the Mountain West, which is weird. I know Northern Illinois is leaving the MAC. I think this is their last year in the MAC, and then they're joining either the new Pac-12, they're remaking the Pac-12, or they're joining the Mountain West. Someone in chat can probably help me with that, but yeah.
I'm going to help you right now, bro.
Northern Illinois is in the MAC, but they're leaving the MAC.
Here we go.
A lot of people in the chat are talking about the Michigan targeting penalty. I'm sure we'll get to that here in a little bit.
You know what? I didn't bring the other book, but
yeah, it's all good. Either way, Northern Illinois is basically in their last year in the MAC, and then they're moving up to a bigger conference. So that just kind of speaks to they've been a really consistent, good team in the MAC for a lot of years. They've upset some big teams. They play big teams tough. So, yeah, it's not going to be an easy game for Maryland.
Right. And after Maryland, just right quick, since I have it on Northern Illinois, Jacob, they played Holy Cross this past Saturday. They play Maryland. They go to Maryland this Saturday. They go to Mississippi State the next Saturday. They play San Diego State. They play Miami of Ohio to go to Eastern Michigan. And their schedule, Northern Illinois, so
they play that MAC schedule, Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if out of Maryland, so they play Maryland and they play Mississippi State, so a Big Ten team and an SEC team. I wouldn't be shocked if they beat one of those two.
And so they but like,
yeah, that's a Friday game.
Games that they were supposed to win last year, and they lost games they were supposed to lose. With the
that game's also on a Friday, so there's only like 2 or 3 games on this Friday. I think Louisville plays and Maryland plays, so I'll tune into it. Michigan plays Maryland later in the season, so I'll definitely tune in just to see how Maryland looks. They look good in their first game, so definitely will be interesting.
Yeah, good morning to Carla, our administrative assistant. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good to see you. Roll Tide and everything. I'm just gonna listen. I'm gonna let the jokes continue because we deserve it because we're playing like we played like jokers. I mean, we really did. And but it's but right now, Big Ten Tuesday. So I'm not gonna worry about Penn State and FIU. Why?
Yeah, Penn State they play nobody in the out of conference schedule this year.
And that's why anyway. I don't want to talk about them. I don't like them anyway.
Right.
Now check this out. Duke now, according to what I'm seeing, Illinois is the number 12 team. Okay, so even though these preseason, this particular ranking means nothing,
right?
Down the road, but you have to bear in mind that they do mean something. In the nuts and the bolts and the meat and the potatoes of it all, Illinois is ranked 12th. I told everybody that after that first week, watch where the losers fall, watch who moves up, watch who moves down, and how they move down. Illinois is 12th, and they go on the road and they play Duke. That's Big Ten football this week. They're playing Duke. You want to elaborate on that one?
Yeah, I think that'll be an interesting game. That's a game that I plan to I do want to watch. It starts at noon. There's not, like we have been saying, there's not a ton of great games on this week, but that should be a good one. It's going to be Illinois at Duke. So Illinois is going to be on the road. Duke has that transfer quarterback, Mensa, who they are really hyped about. I believe he came from Tulane. Duke won their first game. They started off a little slow. They were playing Elon. They started off a little slow, but then they ended up putting the pedal down on them. Mensa looked pretty good. So Duke has quite a bit of hype this year just because of that transfer quarterback, and they also have it's Manny Diaz, I believe, is their head coach. So they have a decent coach. They have a good transfer quarterback, and they're kind of getting some hype, and then Illinois is the same way. We've talked about them all offseason as a team that could do some damage because they brought back 16 starters and a lot of returning production. And this will be a good early season test for both of those teams. I think it's just about really an even matchup. Illinois is ranked higher and better on paper, but if you look at the spread, Illinois is only a 2.5 or a 3-point favorite, depending on what book you look at. So that tells you it's going to be a really close game. Duke has the home field advantage.
Yep.
And to me, in my mind, this is a coin flip. I was never, as I've said, I've never been as high on Illinois. I think they're a good team, but I don't think there's some buzzsaw that's going to destroy Duke. I think this is going to be a good game that's going to go right down to the end. Yeah. And I think Duke has the better quarterback. I know Luke Altmaier is a pretty good quarterback for Illinois. This is, I think, his third year starting. But if you look at Mensa at Duke and what he's done, he's a dynamic playmaker that can run the ball and throw the ball both, dual threat. And you know what? I think I'm going to pick Duke to win this game. At home, yeah. I think I'm going to take Duke. So I'm looking forward to watching it at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Kind of settle in for the rest of the day. But, yeah, I'm going to take Duke. I like Duke to win this game.
Yeah, Duke is hard to beat. And Duke gives teams like Clemson, they give everybody fits, especially when they're playing at home. They give them fits.
It's hard to win on the road in college football. I don't think people give that enough, take that into consideration enough. When you're playing like a fairly good team on the road, it's hard to win. It really is. So I think that home field advantage, all the hype around Duke, they got that good quarterback. I think Duke's going to pull off the win, and I mean it's only a 3-point spread. It wouldn't really be a big upset, but
yeah,
I think Duke does it and propels himself into a good season.
Yeah, and this game, you know what? I'll put it to you on this wise. This game here, a win by either team will help move them up in whatever ranking that they find themselves. They may find themselves. Duke's hard to beat at home, but if I were a betting man, I would not mess with this game. I'm not
going to either. I'm not going to. That's one thing. I think, like you said, we don't really talk about sports betting much on this show. That's a totally different show we could do, but
Yeah,
that's one of the main important thing when you're sports betting is knowing there's so many games that you just shouldn't even touch at all.
yeah,
You have to be so selective with what you're, some games just have no edge either way, and you should just not even touch them with a 10-foot pole. And that's how I'd feel about this game too. I wouldn't put my money on it, but if I had to make a pick, I think I would go with Duke. But yeah,
yeah.
this is not a game.
I
have low confidence in this game. Don't put any money on it, just to be clear.
Yeah, and I'll take Duke for the upset because they're going to pick Illinois to win.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, and so I'll take Duke for the upset, but I still wouldn't bet on it. You have Indiana and Kennesaw State. No sense in talking about that. But here's the game right here. Iowa State. Both are undefeated.
Yeah.
They're playing in Iowa State. This is going to be, I think, the battle of the quarterbacks of Rocco Breck and I forgot who Iowa's No. There's going to be an offense versus defense. But Iowa State's quarterback Breck is in my fantasy league there, and I got to move him.
Yeah.
I really got to move him because that dude can throw. That dude can play. But what you think about Iowa State though, Jacob?
Yeah, so that's always a good game. The Cyclone War or whatever they call that game. Yeah. Just like Michigan or Michigan State or Auburn or Alabama, an in-state rivalry game. Those are always super good, tough matchups. I was looking at the last few years of this game, and it's always close. It always comes right down to the end. I think this is again, Iowa State is favored by 3 points, so basically just home field advantage. So that tells you that they think this is going to be a toss-up. Iowa State has looked pretty good the first 2 weeks. Remember, they played week 0, and they beat Kansas State. And then they played last week, and they beat, I think it was North Dakota, 55-7. So they've been looking good. Like you said, Rocco Beck, their quarterback, has experience. He's a good quarterback. I like Matt Campbell, their coach. They have a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch Iowa's first game. I did check their box score, which doesn't really ever give you the full picture, but it looked like their quarterback kind of struggled. If you look at Iowa's quarterback stats from the first game, they weren't very good, but they did win like 34-7. But the thing about Iowa is they always have a good defense. Their defensive coordinator, Phil Parker, he's actually Iowa's the only team in the last 10 years that have held their opponents to under 20 points per game, all 10 years. And I think I saw the stat, Iowa has this crazy record. They're 40-1 when they score 24 or more points. So Iowa's problem has been offense the last decade or more. Iowa has a good defense. They always do, but they can't score points.
Right.
So, but this is just going to be a typical rivalry game, just a physical, tough game that's going to come down to the end. I expect a close game.
Right.
And for this game, I'll go with Iowa State because they're at home and they have the better quarterback, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I do like what I'm seeing from Iowa State this year. I think they have a good chance to win the Big 12 as good as anybody else in that conference. So I'll go with Iowa State at home.
I got you. I'm gonna take Rocco. He's in my draft. He's on my squad there. I'm gonna take Iowa State. Iowa they still inept on offense. I hate to throw this in, and I know, and for those of you, we talk, on Tuesday we talk Big Ten. Now we're gonna get to Bama in just a minute. Whatever little is there to talk about. There's not much to talk about with them right now. I hate to say it, y'all know I'm a Bama fan from way back in the day. See, the chat going crazy right about now, and I'm not even trying to address them because the governor just put up one of my favorite lines: playoffs. We're talking about playoffs. That's a Jim Moore quote, man. Playoffs.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to talk about with that Bama game. Like I said, I took a few notes on that game. I was watching it. I watched the whole game of that game too. So if you want to jump into that, we can.
Yep,
I see your chat is freaking out about that game. So
they still. I'm letting them vent. You should.
Yeah,
Jacob, you should have seen them yesterday. Oh, it was crazy. But I couldn't let it go. But I'm letting them vent. And here in a minute, we're gonna talk about it in just a minute.
All right.
If the white can, I sent you something, and I kind of want you to play it here in just a few minutes. If you can, if you can't, I'll just do it tomorrow. But we have Northwestern State. Oh, that's Northwestern State at Minnesota. Minnesota should win that one. Yeah. Grambling at Ohio State. Ohio State can win that one. Now, Oklahoma State at Oregon.
I don't even think that's going to be a very good game either. I think Oregon is going to roll them. Oregon is favored by 4 touchdowns at home. That's going to be a blowout.
Then you have Miami of Ohio, Rutgers. Not talking about that.
Yeah.
MTSU at Wisconsin. Not talking about that. And then wait a minute. Let me go on down here. Here's Akron at Nebraska. Not talking about that. Georgia Southern at USC, who cares? Boston College, Michigan State, blah, blah, blah. Southern Illinois, Purdue, well, who cares? UCLA, UNLV, same old soup warmed over. UNLV is going to beat them. And then UC Davis at Washington, okay. But the game of the day, game of the day. And I want us to just do some in-depth because we just only have Big Ten Tuesday. We do it once a week and everything. And so today we're going to take the time out and we will have a Big Ten matchup, a Big Ten SEC matchup between Michigan and Oklahoma. Now, I'm going to take my time here right quick. And 8:38. I'm just going to be a few minutes and then we'll get off here because I got to get out of here today. Got some more stuff I got to go do. But the spread, Jacob, let's start right there.
Yep.
Spread. Let's start with the spread. According to ESPN's sports book, first of all, the over and under in the game is 46. So, it's 46. The spread is a +5. It's 5 or 6. Like I said, the over and under is 46, and your money line is 115, 135, Oklahoma, 115, Michigan. So that means Oklahoma is picked to win the game.
Right.
I think that's more or less home cooking, but you're going to have John Mateer. So let's get down to the meats and the potatoes of it. You're going to have John Mateer versus Bryce Underwood. I think that's where your battle is going to start. It's going to start at the battle of quarterback. Now, I'm not going to bring in home field advantage yet. I'm not going to talk about that part. I just want to talk about team matchups, even if we were playing on a neutral site. Bryce Underwood, John Mateer. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so did you watch Michigan's first game at all or no?
No, I didn't.
All right,
after the Bama game, I didn't want to do nothing, but I didn't even want to watch the back of my eyelid because all I want to see was
I don't blame you. So, I don't know, some people in chat might have watched it or some didn't, but I thought Underwood looked pretty good. Even if you take out the stats I'm not even worried about at this point, but just, when you're watching a quarterback, especially his first start, you can tell if they're nervous, if they're calm. He looked poised. He never really got like happy feet in the pocket or looked like a deer in the headlights. He was in rhythm with all of his throws and he just looked cool, calm, and collected. So I loved what I saw from him just in terms of I know everyone says it wasn't a good team. I understand that. I'm talking more just how he looked, not the stats. He looked like he belonged out there. He looked like he had poise. So I liked what I saw from Underwood, and obviously the arm talent is just jumps off the page. We all knew that, but we were more worried, or we were more wondering if he was going to be, nervous, or the moment was going to be too big for him. But I don't think it was. So we're going to see how that translates to Oklahoma. Obviously, that's a lot different environment on the road versus a much, much better team. But I feel comfortable with him starting that game. I think he'll do just fine. I was impressed with how he played versus New Mexico. And then, yeah, John Mateer on the other side of the coin, he's a good quarterback, but he's never played anybody this good. He played at Washington State last year, and they never played a high level of competition. And then for Oklahoma, he played Illinois State last week. So this is definitely going to be the hardest defense that John Mateer's ever played too. But he is a good quarterback. He's a dual threat. He can run. He can throw. It's not going to be an easy game for Michigan by any stretch of the imagination. But I feel good about the quarterback battle, and I think Bryce Underwood can do it, and I think he can live up to it, and I think the moment won't be too big for him. So we'll start right there.
Right. And we have Justice Haynes. Saturday, Justice Haynes, 16 carries. He had 3 touchdowns, 159 yards. I think that's what it was.
Yep. Justice Haynes went off on Saturday. I saw a few Bama people say there's this guy on Twitter called Squidward, and he made a tweet about it saying Bama should have never got rid of him, and DeBoer didn't give him enough carries or something like that. And I don't know, but one man's trash is another man's treasure, and Justice Haynes looks good to me. He might not be good for you guys, but he's good enough for us, and I'll take it, man. He looked good, physical. He's fast. He has home run speed. One of his touchdowns, I believe, was like 73 yards. Yeah. So he has the home run capability, and he can finish runs. He was running violently with a purpose. I like Justice Haynes a lot. He's definitely looking like our clear running back one. We do have Jordan Marshall, who's pretty good too. He's a sophomore now, but and of course, like I said, this is all relative to competition. New Mexico is not a very good team, but I just like to see how you can just Justice Haynes looks like he was out there running with a purpose and violently, and I did like what I seen from him. So hopefully he can have a good game versus Oklahoma.
And then we're on the receiving yards. You all have the tight end Klein. Is it Matt Klein?
Marlon Klein.
He had 93 receiving yards, whereas Kenny Lewis, I think that's his name, 119 yards, 9 receptions for 2 touchdowns. Marlon Klein, 6 receptions for 1 touchdown. So it's going to be pretty evenly matched. It's going to be pretty evenly matched. It's going to be a good game. But the matchup predictor has OU at 54% and Michigan at 47%. Let's put it like that, 47%.
So pretty even.
So pretty much even and everything. Let's see. So, Jacob, who you got?
So I think this matchup is going to be decided. I'll tell you where I think the matchup's going to be won or lost. I think it's going to be Michigan's offensive line. If we can establish the run and if we can win the battle from our offensive line versus their defensive line and remain balanced, and we got to be able to run the ball. If we get to a point where we can't run the ball in Oklahoma and it's all on Bryce Underwood's shoulders in his second game on the road, I think we're going to be in trouble. But if we can dominate the line of scrimmage and run the ball and be balanced and, everything like that, I think we're going to be okay. And I think we're going to pull out a win. And then on the defensive side of the ball, our secondary has to play a little bit better than they did versus New Mexico. Our starting linebacker, Barham, is out for the first half due to a targeting call, which I did think was a terrible targeting call. You could look it up on Twitter or YouTube and whatever you think of the call. He basically just sacked the quarterback, and they called targeting on it, which I thought was a bad call. But it's the next man up. We don't have any excuses, and that's why you have such a big roster. And next man up. He's out for a half. And then we're going to have to contain Mateer. Mateer is a slippery runner. He is a guy that can run the ball too. So I was reading Steven's comment. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say Michigan wins like 20-17 or 21-17. I am going to
Yeah,
take us to win.
yeah,
I think Bryce Underwood's going to be perfectly fine, and I think we're going to be able to run the ball. Justice Haynes, our offensive line. I'm going to take us to win a close, low-scoring game. You talked about the point spread or the total being 46. I would take under 46 for
yeah,
sure. I
yeah,
think it's going to be like 20-17 or
yeah,
21-17 or maybe 24-20. That's still under. But yeah, I think the game will be won and lost in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Oklahoma has a little bit of a questionable offensive line. That's pretty much their weakness is their offensive line. And I want to see Michigan come out and dominate. These are the types of games that we live for. These are the kind of games you come to Michigan for. Big games, primetime game. Everyone in the country is going to be watching us. So yeah, we need to come out. We need to make a statement because a lot of people they don't think we're going to be good this year. So this is our opportunity. And I've said it for months on your show. This is the game that is going to make or break the season.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm
Uh,
nervous. I feel nervous. I feel excited, but you know those big games, you know the feeling. It's nervousness. It's but you know, we're lucky
I
to be
feel
in
you,
these
man.
spots. When we root for our teams and our teams are good enough to be in these spots, you know, the pressure is a privilege. So I feel happy and I feel excited, but we need to show out on Saturday night and we need to make a statement and we need to win because this could really just launch us for the rest of the season. If we win this game, if you take a peek at the rest of our schedule, it's very, very manageable.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I'm feeling nervous about it. It's not going to be easy, but I think that Michigan's going to get it done.
I hear
Very,
you.
very close though. I think it's going to another key factor in this game that I will break down that a lot of people aren't thinking about or talking about. Michigan has the best kicker in the country. Dominic Zavada. He is like the best kicker in the country. Um he he really is like the best kicker in the country. 50 yards easily. Like
Right,
and in
right.
these low scoring tight matchups, I think it could be a matter of a field goal here or there, and I trust our kicker more than anybody. So I'm gonna take Michigan by a field goal in a really tough game.
Gotcha. Uh, Someone asked about Wisconsin starting quarterback. I'm looking at it now. Billy Edwards had a clean MRI yesterday and today, and his status is week to week, which eliminated the worst fears after leaving an opener with a non-contact injury. He sprained his knee against Miami University, and a precise timetable for return isn't known. So Billy Edwards is out
I didn't even
until
know that, to be honest.
yeah,
Wisconsin this year is like a MAC team. I'm not even gonna lie. Wisconsin is horrible this year. I
yeah,
mean, they barely beat Miami, Ohio. I think it was 10-0, like in the fourth quarter. I'm not sure the final score of that game, but that game was 10-0. Wisconsin was only up 10-0 on Miami, Ohio in the fourth quarter. So Wisconsin is horrible this year. Luke Fickell is probably going to get fired. Wisconsin is probably going to win like 3 or 4 games. You guys are going to demolish Wisconsin. I don't care if you guys lost to Florida State. That looked like a pretty damn good Florida State team. We'll talk about your game in a minute, but
yeah.
you
We'll
guys are
talk
going to
about it in a minute.
demolish Wisconsin.
Uh,
Um,
Me
yeah,
personally, Jacob, you know, I've always stood by this. I said that either way it go in this Michigan Oklahoma game, I've always said that Michigan, if they win this game here, they go all the way up until playoff, including they'll beat Ohio State again.
yep,
Uh, I've
yeah,
said that. I've held true to that this would
yeah.
be the
I
tell and
feel the
tale.
same exact way. I feel the same
Yeah,
way. I said many times. I think we're going to go 10-2. I did preseason or whatever. I did predict this as a loss just because it's Bryce Underwood's first road start. It's a tough place to play, and Oklahoma has a good defense. They're not a bad team. I mean, they're favored for a reason. But I'm just starting to feel like after what I saw week 1, I think we can really do it, but it's not going to be easy. But I agree with you. I've said the whole season, if we win this game, I think we can. I think we can go undefeated. And just look at our schedule. It's not a hard schedule at all. This is like our second hardest game. But yeah, either way, I'll be here next Tuesday, and I'll stand in the pain. If we lose, if we get killed, I'll still be here. So we'll see what happens. But I got Michigan by a field goal. Like I said, either 24-21 or maybe 20-17 in a late field goal. It's going to be a tough game. Should be a really physical game. Both teams have nasty defenses, and I think it's going to be one of those games where you got to buckle up your chin strap and you're going to get punched in the mouth. And we're going to see what Michigan and Oklahoma are both made of, because both teams didn't play anybody week one. And if you really think about this game, both programs, even programs in general, are in the same spot. Michigan had a bad year last year. Oklahoma had a bad year last year. I think both teams won 7 games. The only difference is Michigan won their bowl game. Who cares? No one cares. Oklahoma lost their bowl game. No one cares. If you're not in the playoffs, nobody cares. But Brett Venables is kind of on the hot seat a little bit. He's been struggling, and I mean, Sherrone Moore's not on the hot seat yet, but he needs to prove something. So, we've talked about it all offseason, but this game is just going to be like 2 starving dogs backed into a corner. I really feel like that. Like, I think both teams need this win so badly. I think it's going to be a great game, and I recommend everyone tune in on Saturday night, and we'll see. But I think, yeah, when you get 2 guys that are desperate and they have to fight for their life, I think that brings out the best. And that's how I feel about this game. I think both teams really need this win. No one wants that second. No one wants to lose week 2 and you're sitting at 1-1, and it's not good. But man, if you're 2-0, man, it feels good. So
well, anyway, I'm gonna reserve later to predict Oklahoma, Michigan. That's going to be a dog fight. That's going to be two heavyweight. That's going to be a heavyweight fight, and whomever is hanging around the fourth quarter and they're comfortable in what they're doing. So anyway, Amber says Alabama plays at the same time as Michigan. Okay, good. And Amber, I don't mean that in any disrespect, but as you all know, I have sold my Alabama tickets. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I acted too presumptuously, but I
watched the Alabama game with Amber last week. We were watching the game together, actually, and she was like, she couldn't even watch the game in the fourth quarter. She was just like so beyond sick, and I couldn't even blame her. I mean, do you want to talk about that game, or do you want to skip over it, or it's up?
I'm getting ready to talk because I'm getting ready to show y'all something, and I want you to pay attention. And if you know how Piano Man is, I listen for what's not being said. Okay, Jacob, y'all check this out.
All right.
Did last year, that creates the expectation for this year. But obviously for me and for a lot of the Bama fans, the disappointment that Florida State dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
Wait a minute, what happened here? Let's try this again. It went out on us.
I did see that clip, actually. I did see that, but it'll be.
I can't.
I don't know why it keeps.
I don't know what's. Wow.
Jeff Stapleton in the chat. I agree with you, Jeff. I am obviously a diehard Michigan fan. I haven't missed a game, and I don't know how long, but I'm a college football fan. I watch every Saturday. I watch college football all day. That's what I do. If Michigan has a bye week, I still watch all week or all day. So good point from Jeff in the chat.
Yeah,
he says he's a Bama fan, but overall he just loves football.
Yeah, me too. I'm a football fan. I'm Bama all the way. Like I tell y'all from time to time, I'm Bama till my casket drop. But
that's how I am too. I've seen Michigan go 3-9 under Rich Rodriguez. So I was joking around with Amber, and I said, you guys lost one game, and I've seen some of your guys' fans saying you guys are ready to give up already. Like, you guys just are not built for this.
Well, you know what, Jacob? And my folks over here tell you, I don't mind losing, long as I know that we gave effort. Effort.
Yes, exactly. I agree with you 100%. And like I said, I did take a few notes about this game just mentally and wrote a few because I did watch this whole game because I knew we were going to talk about it. And plus, I mean, I wanted to watch it anyways, but I will say a few things here and just tell me if you agree or not. So I was thinking back in my head, right? I was thinking, okay, I've seen Alabama lose games before. You guys have lost. You guys don't lose much, but you guys have lost. And I thought back to the Clemson game in the national title where you guys got probably the worst loss I've ever seen you guys lose. You guys got your tails whipped pretty bad. But the one thing about that game is I remember watching it. You guys were there was never a question if you guys were playing hard or not. That Clemson team was just good. And sometimes you played sports, I played sports, most people in the chat played sports. Sometimes you just run into a team that's better and you just tip your cap and you just say, you know what, you were better, but we gave it our all, but you were better. But on Saturday, I saw guys jogging. I saw a play where Bray Hubbard, Florida State player, was a touchdown down the left sideline. He was just jogging like a Sunday stroll out there, man. There was no effort. There was no intensity. I don't know what I watched on Saturday. Honestly, I've never seen a game like that from Alabama. I don't know what happened. I just, I'm trying to really word things just the right way, but it would be different. Let's say you guys lost 31-17 and it was just like a couple busted coverages or something like that. A guy slipped, a receiver got open. I would say, okay, I mean, that's fixable. But what I saw Saturday was a lack of effort and a lack of heart. You've watched Bama longer than me, obviously. Have you ever seen a Bama team that couldn't stop the run and just got pounded in the mouth? I mean,
that's my problem.
Florida State dominated the line of scrimmage. They had like over 230 rushing yards.
Yeah.
Alabama can't stop the run and they can't run the ball, and that's an easy indicator of a bad football team. I'm not saying you guys are bad. Maybe you'll get it fixed. But if you want to know what a bad football team looks like, you can't run the ball and you can't stop the run. Because stopping the run is more about just want to and desire and heart and toughness. I mean, there's only so much you can scheme to stop the run. It's a man-on-man, get off a block and make a tackle and punch someone in the mouth. I mean.
But you know what, though? I'm going to say this.
Brian, it's not even for me that you guys did play bad. It's not even that. But for me, it's more just how. Like I said, if you guys lost by 2 touchdowns and you busted a couple coverages deep and you had confusion in your secondary or something like that, and Florida State hit a couple deep passes over the top on you or whatever, I would say, yeah, that sucks, but you guys can fix that. But for me, it's more about how you guys lost. You guys got physically pounded in the mouth for 4 quarters, punched right in the face, and you guys didn't do anything about it. I mean, I've never seen that from Alabama as long as I've been alive under Nick Saban. Because for me personally, I'm 27. I don't really remember any Alabama football before Nick Saban. I don't. He coached there for 17 years. That's about, I think 17. That's really when I started watching football. When I was 8 or 9 years old or whatever, when I really start remembering it. Yeah. So I was reading some of the comments in chat. So for me, if I was you guys, that's what I would be concerned about. Not even the loss, but how we lost.
Yeah, it's how. It's how. Let's try this one more time. Welcome, Kangaroo Black, the mentor, the man who had the epic meltdown. Kangaroo Black, everybody. KB. Let's try this one more time, Jacob, and we're going to see what's what. Here we go.
Yeah, that creates the expectation for this year. But, obviously for me and for a lot of the Bama fans, the disappointment that Florida State dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
But the good news is every team has the best opportunity to improve from week 1 to week 2. Because really going into the season, you don't really know what you have for sure as a coach. and you're always very anxious about what might happen in the first game. And I'm sure they're all disappointed, players, coaches alike, but they do have a great chance to improve from week 1 to week 2. That's when you usually make the biggest improvement. LSU, Miami, and Ohio State all really impressed me. But I think Texas, Notre Dame, and Clemson all have a really good chance to have great teams this year, too, if they make the progress they're capable of.
Yeah. There you go. Do I need to replay it for anybody?
I agree. Yeah.
Do I need to go back and replay that? And like I told y'all, Saban being nice, and that's what the governor's saying. Saban is being nice right now and everything. But listen, y'all. Here we go. There we go. Now listen. I told y'all, I'm listening for what's not being said. For what's not being said. Now, I'm about to do this. KB, don't go anywhere. I'm about to bring you in, Jacob. We're going to bring in KB, okay?
Yeah, sounds good. Yep.
I'm going to bring KB in. I want KB to hit the chat there, KB. Hit the link. I just need KB right now. I need KB. Hit the link, KB, and come on in with us, man. I just need KB right now. Oh, you in the gym? Okay. If you can, KB, when you can, we're gonna be on here for a few minutes. I'm not gonna be on here too much longer, but I'm listening for what's not being said. Okay, here we go. There's Kangaroo Black. There he is. What's up, KB?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. That's Jacob. Jacob, you know Kangaroo Black.
Yep, I've seen his show before.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah. KB.
What's going on, bro?
Man, I want you to tell me something right quick. You saw the clip. Did you hear what Nick Saban didn't say?
Yeah. Basically, he's saying he's giving credit to all the other teams, like teams that he named that lost. And basically, he just saying Alabama got the chance to improve from week 1 to week 2. He didn't say Alabama could have a great team. He blew over. He brushed them off.
He bust them out.
Yeah, Jacob, he brushed them off.
Hold up, KB. Jacob, what you say about that?
Yeah, he mentioned Notre Dame, he mentioned Texas and Clemson when they lost their game, but he said he thinks they're going to be fine. But yeah, he didn't mention Alabama, and that was for a reason. I think he's even a little shocked and worried about what he saw. And you know what, Piano Man, I don't know if I was thinking I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to say it. I might get killed by your chat, but for the first time in my life, tell me if I'm wrong, you guys look soft. The S word is coming out. I don't really like to use the S word a lot of the times for football teams, but sometimes it's needed. And you guys look soft. You guys look slow. Your defense I saw dudes jogging out there, like no effort, no heart. I mean, like I said earlier, sometimes you lose a game and that's football. No one's going to win every single game. The other team staff gets paid too. They get paid millions of dollars. They're trying just as hard as you are. You're never going to win every game, but man, you guys look soft out there. I just don't even know what I saw. Like I said, I've seen you guys lose games before, but the way that Florida State was dominating the line of scrimmage and just shoving it down your guys' throat, they had over 230 rushing yards. You guys had so many missed tackles. I just don't even know what I saw. Tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what's alarming to me. And you guys have a gauntlet of a schedule. You have to get it figured out by Georgia.
And
KB, go ahead.
My thing is, even after the game, in the press, the coaches had no effort.
Yeah, no effort.
The coaches had no effort. The players had no effort. The fans had more effort than the players did. We should have been out there.
You're 100% right. After the game, I've seen more Alabama fans. They had more passion and anger and effort than anyone I saw on the field.
No, I'm saying the coaches had no answers.
No answers. Well,
No answers. You guys, I've said it all off season. I told Amber this all off season. I think your guys' defensive coordinator has to go. I'm not there with DeBoer yet. You guys can't. Just logistically, you guys can't fire DeBoer. I don't think you guys could even afford to do that at this point in time. And I think Ryan Grubb is a good offensive coordinator. I really do think that. But Kane Womack, your guys' defensive coordinator, I think he just has to go.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, and I don't know if y'all paid attention. If you saw, I'm gonna put this back up here. Piano Man, they look better on A-Day than they did on Saturday, and that's true.
Amber made a good point in the chat too. Kalen DeBoer has you guys looking like a Pac-12 team, and that's a good point. I mean, that stuff works in the Pac-12 or whatever. When you're at Washington and you're in the Pac-12 and you can score 50 points and you can give up 30 points, but man, the SEC, you got to be tough, you got to be physical, and you got to be able to punch someone in the mouth and stop the run. You know, there's a lot of teams in the SEC like Georgia. They want to run the football. Texas wants to run the football. You know, there's a lot of teams in the SEC that want to establish the run, dominate the line of scrimmage, and they're going to punch you right in the mouth. And if Bama doesn't have any answers for that, I mean, no offense to Florida State, but, you know, if Florida State can dominate you on the line of scrimmage, you know, what's LSU going to do? What's Georgia going to do? I mean, I'm not even an Alabama fan, but my jaw is on the ground right now.
Man, it's a shame when teams can go up against Alabama and be one-dimensional, still dominate.
Georgia and Texas are soft as a
Georgia and Texas are soft? Are you serious?
I don't know about that.
I tell you what, Georgia and Texas will beat Alabama right now, both of them.
Texas lost to Ohio State, but I didn't watch that game, and I didn't think Texas was soft. They lost, but, I mean, that was a battle. But that's just my opinion.
No, bro. Well, I tell you what, you talking Tennessee, I want to see Tennessee beat that soft Georgia team. Then come back and talk to them.
Hey, Piano Man, I'm going to get out of here, man. I'm going to get on this treadmill.
Okay, bro. All right. Thank you, KB.
Yeah, good.
All right. Thank you.
All right, bro.
All right. Appreciate y'all.
All right.
But
appreciate KB.
That's where I'm at pretty much with Bama. It was horrible, and like we broke it down. But in the end, as a lot of people have also said, the season is not over. It's more about if you fix it. But like I said, for me, the concerning part is it's a lot harder to fix effort and just discipline and just really just heart and willpower and just the desire and competitive character to win more than it is. Like I said, if it was a couple busted coverages or schemes or something in your secondary, I would say, okay, well, you can easily clean that up. But why the first game of the season, why were you guys just not even showing any heart or effort? I just don't understand that. So that's why I would be concerned. It's more about the way you lost than the fact that you lost. And
so, and I'm going to get ready. I got to get ready. I have to be at a place here in a little bit, but I just, and I don't want nobody to leave away thinking that I have no faith in the team. No, I have no faith in the effort. Will the effort be there? Will the effort be there? And then once again, thank you, JB. And then once again, y'all, the road woes continue. The road woes continue. And we can't just keep sweeping that under the rug. I got Piano Man. I got one more. It's not there. It's there.
I got one more good point for you real quick. This is more of a technical schematic point that I'm not even sure if you noticed or thought about yet. But here's one thing I'll break down for the chat and you real quick. Ryan Williams, all right? Ryan Williams, he played 90% of his snaps Saturday in the slot.
Right.
Ryan Williams is a dynamic outside receiver. Last year, he played only, I think it was 20% or 17% of his snaps last year were in the slot. 90% Saturday, he was in the slot. They kept, I know a lot of you guys are big into schematics and just football nerds like me, but if you guys were watching the Bama game Saturday, they kept using him on drag routes and bringing him right into the safety, and he just kept taking shot after shot after shot. Ryan Williams is not built to go across the middle like that. Ryan Williams is an outside dynamic threat, deep threat on the outside, and they kept putting him in the slot and kept getting him killed. And then he ended up not even being able to finish the game. And I just was thinking from a schematic standpoint, I don't know what Ryan Grubb's game plan was. Why are you using Ryan Williams in the slot like that much? Ryan Williams could barely – he can affect the game so much more on the outside. He's one of the best, most dynamic outside receivers in the sport, and you guys kept running him in the slot. You kept running him across the middle, dragging him into safeties, dragging him into linebackers. He was taking shot after shot, and then he couldn't even end up finishing the game, and now he's out for God knows how long. So that's just more of a technical, schematic standpoint. But
Right.
I would love for someone to ask Ryan Grubb, why are you using Ryan Williams in the slot primarily?
And so
Horton got injured too. He got injured early in the game. I saw him right.
Ryan Williams, Lathan, Horton.
But seriously, I know football is a dangerous game. You can get hurt on any play, but that Ryan Williams injury, I think, is a lot on the schematics and the coaching. A lot of people don't notice that stuff because a lot of people aren't, I'm like a football nerd. I love to look at that stuff. And, but yeah, 90% of his snaps, I went back and checked, 90% of his snaps were in the slot. And Ryan Williams is not meant or built to play in the slot. Ryan Williams is a dynamic outside threat. He needs to be on the outside. You guys could move Jeremy Bernard to the slot, or you guys could move someone else to the slot.
Right.
And, I mean, he got killed because of it. He took shot after shot. And even before he got hurt, before he took that massive shot, he took a couple other good shots, and he was slow getting up. And, I mean, I just don't understand. I would love to ask Ryan Grubb why he did that. But
like JB said, the wrong question is, why isn't Ryan Grubb running the ball? But we learned that yesterday.
Yeah, after your guys' first drive of the game, you guys pounded it right down their throat, and you guys were up 7-0. And I even told Amber, I mean, you guys are going to be hard to stop. And then you guys went away from the run way too soon. I don't know. I think that Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb, I think they do like to get away from the run too soon. If you look at what they did at Washington and stuff, they love to throw the ball around. But
be sharp. Yes, Tuesday, and we still talking about it because we're questioning the effort. That's all. Effort. I like I said, I can take the losing.
You guys just need another game on Saturday. You guys just need.
I'm like my parents. My parents didn't let stuff go like that. I don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm questioning effort.
You guys just need to come out on Saturday, and you just need to fix. I mean, obviously, it's UL Monroe. You guys are going to win. But I would just be looking at, like you said, the effort and
the effort. I mean, I got you, and people do need to let it go. But where was the effort? And that's what's in the brain of everybody. And you can't fault them for that, because it's like nobody. They didn't try. They did not try.
Especially on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah. Offensively, I thought you guys were okay. Well, the main thing I would say about offense is this is like the second or third year in a row that your guys' offensive line has been hyped up as like the best offensive line in the country. And you guys were getting absolutely dominated. Like, you had All-Americans. Isn't Caden Proctor, I'm pretty sure, a preseason All-American? That dude on Florida State, the edge for Florida State, was just stealing his lunch money like all day long. Ty Simpson was running for his life. I actually didn't think Ty Simpson played bad. I really didn't. That was just my opinion of it. I don't think Ty Simpson had a chance. I think your guys' offensive line played absolutely horribly. And I don't think Ty Simpson had a chance in hell. I mean, I thought he played okay. There was that one play where, if you remember it, I think it was a fourth down later in the game. He had a ton of green grass, and he didn't run the ball. He tried to throw the ball. He had like 10 yards of open field ahead of him. He should have just tucked it and ran. But he obviously made mistakes, but I don't think your offensive line gave him a fair chance. And It just seems like every single year.
Yeah, we're going to see. But Saturday, we'll tell the tale. Well, I'm going to put it to you like this. Saturday will tell the tale for us, even with this ULM team. They're going to be hungry. They're going to want to get us. And like JB, the governor, says, everybody's going to lick their chops right about now because they're going to be looking at Saturday's game. Now, I'm going to end all of this by saying this. I know that's one game. But it left more questions than it did answers. Then yesterday, I'm going back to yesterday, the pressers did not help matters any as far as a lot of us is concerned. Yeah, but week 1, week 2 is here. You're right. Be sharp. I'm not arguing that. But you gotta, as a fan, we have right to question the effort from week 1, and not only from week 1, but from day to day. What was the attitude? And what's the attitude? What's the mindset going in? Because now you got 4 or 5 starters. Ryan Williams is out. Is Isaiah Horton going to play? If not, who's going to step in? It's more easier said than just move on than done because you're still questioning effort.
Did they ever say how long Ryan Williams is out for?
No, they didn't.
But I will say, just leave this on a more positive note. I know this has been kind of a negative little segment here, but like I said, I told Amber this and I told a lot of people this, that your guys' season is far from over. Look at what happened to Notre Dame last year. They lost to NIU. They thought the world was ending, and then they ended up in the national championship. It's more just about what you guys do from here. Your season is far from over. Everybody, it is a good point. Just relax. Get this stuff fixed, and you guys could be all right. You guys have the talent to do it. It's just more about the coaching staff figuring it out. But, yeah, your guys' season is far, far from over.
Yeah, Top Simpson Burner. I've seen you before, Top Simpson Burner. We'd be fools to forget what happened on Saturday. In my opinion, we can't talk about it enough. And so I'm just saying, I got people, I got it. But if we're going to be talking about continue to be real, we've had problems even under Saban, winning games, losing games that we're supposed to win. By far, we were the better team, but we played like we were so very, very inferior. We played like it. We played inferior. And so that's all we're saying is that for those of us that are just passionate about our team, passionate about the game, and everything, I'm just saying, hey, look, let's bring some effort. Let's bring some effort.
What can you tell me about UL Monroe? Is UL Monroe like absolutely horrible, or are they going to be kind of tough?
UL Monroe is horrible. Ryan Williams may be clear for the home game Saturday on concussion protocol.
You know what I would say about that? You guys are playing UL Monroe at home. I would not even play Ryan Williams. I wouldn't even play him. You don't need him on Saturday. You don't need him on Saturday. Just give him a week of rest. You probably don't even realistically need him against Wisconsin. You could realistically sit out Ryan Williams until Georgia and just make sure he's 100,000% ready to go. That's probably what I would do, but we'll see what you guys do.
And so we'll see. We will see.
Stephen Hicks is not a Ryan Williams fan. He said, leave Ryan Williams at home with his teddy bear and his Barbie makeup.
Yeah, leave. Yeah, I wouldn't play Ryan Williams either.
I wouldn't listen. Not till Georgia.
Listen, y'all, about this concussion thing. If y'all notice, Jaden Roberts didn't even play. And Jaden Roberts has been in concussion protocol. But, they said he'd been cleared to play, but he did not play Saturday. At least I didn't see him out there. He didn't play. So if they didn't play Jaden Roberts in a game like this, then why are we bringing Ryan Williams back on the game?
I don't expect to see Ryan Williams until Georgia. That gives him like 3 weeks to rest. As we're learning more and more about this stuff, those concussions are nothing to play with. He's like He's only 18. They're not gonna mess with his future like that in his head like that. He took a pretty big shot to get knocked out of the game, so I don't expect to see Ryan Williams until Georgia.
Yeah, and then like the White said, this game, this game, okay, let's redeem yourself. It's Wisconsin where I think is where the rubber's going to meet the road.
I think Wisconsin is horrible. I really do think you guys are going to whoop on Wisconsin. That's just my opinion. Wisconsin is really, really, really bad. I'm just going to say that, but it'll show something at least. But I just want to see how you guys play against Georgia. Are you guys going to bounce back and respond? You know, a lot of adversity. Are you guys going to bounce back, or are you guys going to fold? And that's going to be the question that I can't wait to see.
I'm not really worried about Georgia. I'm just going to focus on, if some B Sharp did say that is right, I'm focusing on week 2. You know, I'm just focusing on who's in front of me right now. Yeah, Florida State, and like I said, I'm just more or less questioning the effort. Now, Florida State is over, and I hope and pray, and then this is what I pray. I hope and pray that we win the rest of our games. I hope and pray Florida State wins the rest of their games. You know,
that's another good thing. I was listening to Josh Pate
again, and let's see if they can beat us a second time.
I was listening to Josh Pate's show, and Josh Pate made such a good point about perspective. He was like, "What if Florida State is just like the best team in the country?" I mean, you know what I mean? Like, what if Florida State is just like super, super, super good, and then at the end of the season, this loss just doesn't even look that bad?
Well,
I mean,
I don't think me personally, and I got to get ready to go. Personally, Jacob, I don't think that Florida State is super, super, super good. We just played super, super, super bad. We lack effort. We lack everything. When you put it all down. So when you just cut to the chase, we didn't win on the road. We didn't win on the road. We just didn't win on the road. We didn't take care of business like we should. Now we're sitting here, you know, we're playing the blame game and this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. As of now, I think it's just really time to, you know, to move on. You know, I've said, you know, I give people a chance to vent, and you're gonna continue to vent. Right now, ULM is waiting on you. They're waiting on us. That's the bottom line. ULM is waiting on us. Did I like what happened at Florida State? None of us did. But I'm just questioning effort. I'm not questioning nothing else. I'm just questioning effort of what it looked like. So, you know, I mean, just it's you know. And then while I'm at it, now, me personally, I'm a guy from back in the Gap. This is a new generation. We may not like, me personally, I don't like, I'm not this quote unquote, I'm going to say it like this, and I'm not going to be politically correct either. I'm not for all this woke stuff. I'm not. But if that's a person's grit, that's their grit. That's their grit. That's their grit. Just because I don't like something, it doesn't necessarily make it right or wrong. It's just something that I wouldn't ascribe to. You see? So me personally, would I be like the Ryan Williams type guy? No, because that's not my grit. But I'm not about to knock him because that's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to do. I'm just saying it's just not a good look. But if that's part of his makeup and that's part of his emotional support, then go for it, bro. Go for it. But all I'm saying is that that shouldn't have anything to do with your play on the field. That has nothing to do with your play on the field. Because what's the guy's name? Michael Sams, back in Missouri. His draft stock, one of the baddest linebackers in the nation that year, got drafted. And when they saw him kiss the guy, which just so happened to be his lover, because folks didn't really know, let's put it like this, America didn't know that Michael Sams was gay and everything, then like, bam, you know, now you didn't hear nothing from him. All I'm saying is don't bash. We got to stop the bashing. Just because you don't like something, just because you don't agree with something, sometimes you need to don't make it so personal. That's just not your. What's the word I need to use, Jacob? That might be.
I was reading the comment from Ty Simpson's burner, and it kind of goes along with what you're saying, and I feel the same way. He said, just catch the ball when it hits you in the hands. I don't care if you wear a blonde wig. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
If you ball out on Saturdays and you do your job and you play good, you play with a relentless effort for 60 minutes and you make plays and you ball out, I do not care what you do in your personal time. You can be gay, straight, you can be bi. I don't care about any of that. You ball out on Saturday and you do your job for the team, and I don't care. That's how I am personally.
So we got.
I don't care if he could paint his nails, he could wear a dress, he could be like Caleb Williams. But if when the lights are on and the game kicks off and it's go time, if he makes plays and he balls out, that's all I care about.
So
and Ryan Williams is a good player. He's catching a lot of heat right now, but he's one of your guys' best players.
And so I wouldn't play him Saturday. With him, Barney, painted nails, it don't matter to me. Don't play him Saturday.
No, don't play him Saturday, and I wouldn't play him versus Wisconsin either.
She got criticism for saying Norvell is a good coach. Norvell is not a good coach. Norvell just so happens that he coached. Norvell couldn't even keep his team together, Amber. Remember that. They cried like a bunch of wimps when they didn't make the playoffs that year. He couldn't keep his team together. He didn't keep them together. Most of these guys, including Gus Malzahn, they had to bring Gus Malzahn in. I told you yesterday, I want to thank Alabama for helping save Norvell's job, because I'm telling you now, if he had lost that game Saturday, trust me, they were going to be the rumblings were going to get hard and heavy. They were going to get hard and heavy. Alabama helped save this job. I'm telling you now. Now that's just how Piano Man see it.
Their quarterback played pretty damn well. I was impressed. He talked all that crap, and he actually backed it up.
He backed it up. He did. Thomas Castellanos, I called him Castor, but I'm going to call him by his name. I owe him that respect because he backed it up. He stood on business. He said, I said what I said, and I meant what I said. Norvell beat LSU 2 years in a row. That's not saying much. At that point, that wasn't saying much. Me, you, Jacob, and the rest of the crew over there could get together and beat LSU in the opening game. LSU proved themselves Saturday by going into Clemson and actually beating Clemson. Now,
yeah, I think LSU is going to be tough this year. LSU actually has a defense again.
But Steven, just because, Steven, this is a matter of era, man. And you my boy, I love you, man. But this is a matter of an era. What worked back when we were coming along don't necessarily work now. You might not like it, but bruh, it is what it is. It is what it is. And if you've been paying attention as life has gone on, man, it has always been that way. It's just becoming a lot more open, but you can't bash them, and you can't. You shouldn't. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't bash them, because they may look at your culture and say, man, y'all crazy.
I just got one question, though. Where is all this Ryan Williams stuff even coming from? I mean, he's one of your guys' best players, and he got hurt on Saturday. I just don't understand where all the hate for him is coming from. He didn't play bad.
He showed up at the game with a T-Rex. And when they asked him, he said
like a stuffed animal or something?
A stuffed animal, yeah. And
okay.
What's up, OG Gil? And so I just said, me personally, I'm from the old school of thought. What you need is a therapist, not a T-Rex,
Yeah.
And so I'm just from the old school, but I'm not going to bash.
Yeah, I get it. It's more just different eras and generations. I think you're pretty spot on there. It's just, I think at the end of the day, he really is just like a kid. Didn't he just turn 18 or something like that? It's more just he just isn't that mature. I don't think it is. But like I said, man, when Saturdays come on, the dude can play. So that's all I care about.
But Steven, he's not a girl. He's not a girl. Come on now. I know you got part of that that No Mercy crew, but look here, man. He's not a girl, and that's not fair. That's not fair. Come on
Steven
now.
is on one today. Steven is not happy.
He's not happy, but he's not a girl. Come on, man. Come on now. You know, Piano Man don't allow. I don't allow that.
Come on. Ryan Williams is one of the best receivers in the country. We got to be honest.
He's still
behind Jeremiah Smith. There's not many dudes I would take over Ryan Williams. We do got to be honest.
So I'm just saying, he's a part of our team. Like you might not.
And he's
like
one of your better players. If you guys start hating on your better players, you guys are.
You know. But with a T-Rex is not a good look for a football player in any conference. Well, okay. Well, you must have watched a lot of NBA basketball. They come in. I'm like Charles Barkley. Some of them coming in on a spaceship now. Come on,
you want to know what?
Come on, don't go there. Don't go there because
Piano Man. You want to know what this all comes down to? This all comes down to. I will break this all down for you. When you lose games, everything gets magnified. If you guys would have won this game 45-7, everyone would have been like, "Oh, Ryan Williams had that T-Rex. That was awesome." But when you lose, everything gets magnified, and everything is the reason for why. It's just losing. Just winning covers up all problems. Winning can cover up everything. That's just how sports work in general. You can have the most terrible locker room there is, but if you win, no one cares. But when you lose, every little problem becomes magnified, and every little thing becomes the reason why. But I can promise you that Ryan Williams having a T-Rex is not any reason or anything to do with why you lost.
Jermaine, come on, dog. Ryan Williams ain't trash. He's not trash. Trust
if you guys,
me.
Hey, I know if you guys don't want Ryan Williams, I see a lot of hate. I know a team over here in Ann Arbor that'll take him.
He's not trash.
Put Ryan Williams with Bryce Underwood, and that'll feed families.
Shucks. You lose Ryan Williams and see what happens. See what happens.
You guys, it's one of those things where you don't know how good you have it until he's gone. And if he did hit the portal, I think you guys would be mad. Jermaine says, I don't like Ryan Williams, and you can have. This is the Piano Man. This is the same stuff that your fans did about Milroe.
He can't get. Okay. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And be sharp. Hold up, be sharp. But be sharp. That's what I've been saying. It has nothing to do with his play on the field.
That's what I said too.
Nothing.
He could be a furry. I don't care what he does. If he balls out on Saturday when I'm watching the game, I don't care about his personal life because I'm not in his personal life. Just do your job on the field, and that's all any of us care about.
So, I mean, but you're saying blame the coaches for the culture. The culture is outside of the, wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Jesus the Christ. Steven, you can say what you want. Just don't bash their person, man. Hey, Kimberly, what's up? Good morning, sissy. Bro, time. Just don't bash their person. That's all we're saying. Don't bash their person. We're not bashing your person, your personal life, your person, your personality. When you look at the word university, when you take the IT, you have the word from the word universe. It brings in many people. It brings in many people with many different perspectives from many different places, from many different backgrounds. And I'm not saying just because you were reared one way, someone else was reared another way, this, that, and the third. That doesn't make you right and them wrong. It makes you different. Different. And when it makes you different, we got to learn to accept differences.
And like I said, would any of this be getting talked about if you guys won 45-7?
Oh, you know what though? Jacob. Yeah, it still will make it because even when we're winning, some Bama fans are never pleased. Some Bama fans are never pleased.
Dwight nailed it though. He said it's social media culture. It's not anything to do with the coaches. That's just the new era that we live in. Social media, people doing all this stuff. But for real, Ryan Williams is one of your guys' best players. You guys should not be turning your back on him. You guys still have him all of this year and next year. He's going to be a really special player.
Well, here you go. What's up, Coach Al? I wonder what Roydell told his former teammates from Bama what he thought about playing the imposters wearing crimson and white on Saturday. He has to be laughing his butt off. I wonder. No telling. What's up, Coach Al?
No, Steven, you didn't make any of us cry. You didn't offend me. I just was saying my opinion. You're good.
Yeah, I'm not
You can
crying.
have your opinion, and you're more.
Everybody has their opinion.
Steven's more old school. I know Steven said he was in his 70s, so he's more old school. And Steven, in your day, yeah, men did not paint their fingernails or wear dresses like Caleb Williams. Or it's just a totally new, different era, and it doesn't make you wrong or it doesn't make them right. It's just different.
Just different. That's all I'm saying. It just makes us different. So anyway, but it has nothing to do with the play on the field. The play on the field. That's the play on the field, and that's what
I'm saying. If Ryan Williams wore a dress every single game, and then he went off for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, I would not care. I would be like, all right. I mean, I just never really cared about people's personal. Oh yeah, I forgot your guys' running back Roydell Williams played for Florida State.
Yeah. Jermaine. Let me see, Jermaine. Okay, I don't care about being like when I was talking positive, nobody says anything or post my comments. Not you, Piano Man. But when I go nuclear, people want to say something. I got you. Okay.
I think everyone in your fan base is just frustrated, rightfully so. I've been there before with our fan base in Michigan. Last year is a good example. Everyone's just frustrated, pissed off. No one knows. Just everyone wants answers, and I don't blame any of you guys. None of you guys have said anything that out of line. I don't think.
Just ain't nobody said nothing out of line, and you're good, Jermaine. I mean, but I think that it's the way that we lost, but it's time for week 2. Let's move on to ULM. Let's get it. B Sharp is gonna come on tonight. 6 between 6:30. B Sharp, what time tonight, bro?
I'm gonna tune in and watch that. I feel like B Sharp is gonna have a lot to say.
Yeah, he's go. I don't. You know what? I'm gonna put it to you like this. I could care less. I'm a baby boomer, and I've seen it all. All I know is what works for me. 6 Central. All right, everybody. Here we go.
7 Eastern time. All right, I'm gonna tune into that too. B Sharp.
Central time. That'll be 6 Central, 7 Eastern. And everybody going the other way. You know what time it is for you. But all I'm saying is I've told you before, winning settles everything. But I forgot to tell you what losing does. Losing unsettles everything.
Losing magnifies every little issue and creates blame. And Brian Thomas in the chat says, when we beat the brakes off at all the rest of the teams, none of this will matter. And I could not agree more with him.
Yeah.
You saw this in the NFL last year with Caleb Williams or whatever, when they were losing games. It was, he dresses, it's just win. Winning just settles everything. No one cares what you do. No one cares. Just win games and everyone's happy and people can do whatever they want. And that's the end of the day. That's what you guys need to get back to. Just win games
and play with some passion. Play with some passion. I'm 63, Jeff. I'm from the old school of football, period. I'm from the old school of life. But I'm gonna go on and say it. Let me just go ahead and say it. I've seen men dressed as women way back when they were supposed to have been in the closet. But they came out the closet. They did. I knew guys that I hung with or that I knew that were gay. That they were gay. But they still went hard on the field. What a person does in their personal life is none of our business. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me at all. It doesn't affect me. Carla brought up Dennis Rodman. I'm going to bring up Michael Westbrook. There have been where they've shown how Michael Westbrook in the NBA has dressed, how he dresses. Michael Westbrook, one of the baddest players on that doggone court that you can ever talk about going hard. Michael Westbrook, pound for pound, is one of the hardest NBA players it is. He's married. I think he has kids and everything. But his dress style, I wouldn't do it, but it has nothing to do with how he performs on the court.
Another example you could throw in there, look at Cam Newton.
Look at Cam. Look at Cam.
He kind of dresses a little bit off the wall and a little bit weird and a little bit out there. But, man, when the lights turn on and it's game time, that dude could play football. That dude could ball.
And so some of this, I think I don't care. I don't really care about it. But the thing that I'm trying to get people to understand, don't bash them. Just don't bash people. Don't take these cheap, like Double A saying, quit taking these cheap shots. I had to get out one of our chats, Jacob. I'm going to just tell you, I had to get out one of our chats the other day because the dude referred to Milroe and, wait a minute, who were we talking about on there? I can't remember.
Oh, you're talking about our group chat. I know what you're talking about.
In our group chat. But they referred to, they got to talk about Milroe, but they were talking about, I can't remember.
I think it was some kind of racist remark or something.
It was a racist remark. And they kept on going, and I was trying to give them a chance to correct themselves. But when they called him a couch monkey, silverback gorilla, meal monkey, I just said
that's a good point that you could make, and that's a whole separate conversation. But there's we all love college football, but there's a lot of stuff bigger than this. This is not that serious in the grand scheme of life. Like, we all love football, we all love college football, but in the grand scheme of life, this is not life or death. Yeah, you don't. I don't know. It's just crazy. People take this stuff like way too far sometimes.
Well, Big D, we don't know. I don't know what happened, but I was told yesterday that they do make TikTok videos. All the teams do it. They do it. It's just so magnified at Alabama because it's Alabama. Goes back to like what JB says. You're the standard when they keep talking about you, this, that, and the third, and when something goes wrong, So we just got to, I'm ready to call it. I'm ready to call this quits.
Yeah. Saturday at 7 o'clock when you guys kick off week 2, this will all be in the past. And
yeah, we're going to see.
We're going to find out.
We're going to see. And so I just hope and pray that everybody, we're just ready. But Be Sharp comes on tonight at 6. Be Sharp, I'm going to be late getting there, sir. Tonight is something, we have something going on at church. But as soon as that's over, bro, I'm coming on. I'll be there. Like I said, I'll be late. I just wanted to give you that respect just to let you know Piano Man is going to be there. But
yeah, I'll tune in. I'm gonna tune into that too. Be Sharp. It sounds like you have a lot of interesting points to make, and I'll tune into that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah, effort. It's changed, and we have to realize that. But all I'm saying is, as I close, y'all, as I go to the end, again, thank Uncle Jacob for coming. And every Tuesday, Big Ten Tuesday, that's what we dedicated it to. I did that because he's a Michigan fan, but he's also a Big Ten guru. I'm an SEC guy, but basically, I'm basically Alabama. I don't like what I saw, but I'm ready to move on and call it a day. It is what it is. It's over. It's done with. And so let's just move on. So anyway, for anybody that may have gotten offended by anything, please don't take it offensive. But I'm not gonna stand bashing up in here. I don't care. I don't care if black, white, gay, straight, bi. And it don't matter to me. If we treat each other nice, we cool. And what you got to do, what you do in your personal time, that's between you and the good Lord. Okay?
Hey, I got one final question for you before I get out of here. I can't let you escape. You almost escaped. You got to tell me. You think Michigan's going to win or no?
I think Michigan pulls it out.
All right.
I think Michigan pulls it out. I believe this is going to be a matter of where who's
everybody in the chat. I want to see what people in the chat say. What do you guys think in the chat? Is Michigan going to win? Let me know.
Dwight said Oklahoma. I'm saying Michigan. Who else? Anybody in the chat? Michigan, Oklahoma. Who you got? Oklahoma.
Of course, Amber says Oklahoma. She just hates Michigan. Oklahoma's going to get after Michigan. Al Sanders, appreciate it. I usually come on here on Tuesdays. I was just sick last week. I appreciate the kind comments. I usually come on and talk about the Big Ten with Piano Man every Tuesday. Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner. Michigan, Jermaine says Michigan. Okay. It's really going to be like a coin flip of a game. I really feel that. We could lose by a field goal. We could win by a field goal. I would be surprised if either team blew each other out.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson Burner says Michigan.
If it's a blowout, then something is very wrong.
Yeah, if it's a blowout either way, I'll be shocked. Yeah, Michigan will dominate the trenches. That's what I think is going to happen too. Oklahoma's offensive line's not very good. Okay. All right. So it seems pretty 50-50. Susan 50-50. Thomas says Michigan.
It'll be a close, low-scoring game.
Low-scoring game, exactly what I say. I think it's almost like the first team to 20 points wins.
24-17.
20. If someone scores 24 points, that's going to win the game. 20 might win.
24-21. It'll be a 3-point touchdown, 3-point or 1 touchdown game. No,
so like I said, the last point I'm going to make and then get out of here. Just remember, I said this: Michigan's kicker. Remember, Michigan has the best kicker in the country, and I think the game. Holy shit, 40-7 Oklahoma. If that happens, I will be down really, really bad. Kimberly Harmon, I will be down tremendously horrible, and I will be very sad. Let's not put that into existence. 40-7. You think Oklahoma that you guys are down after the Florida State? Amber. You think that you guys are down after the Florida State loss? You should see me if we lose 40-7.
Oh man, I'm going to come. I'm going to fly to Michigan. Come check on you, bro.
Amber doesn't even really believe that. She just hates Michigan. So
she just talking because she don't like Michigan. You know.
Yeah, that's not her true prediction though.
Nah.
40 points. Yeah, if Oklahoma scores 40 points on us, I don't even know what I will do.
Go fire your defensive staff.
Yeah, Wink Martindale won't let that happen.
But if Michigan, but now we're joking, but if Michigan scores 40 on Oklahoma, it's gonna roll up in there.
If Michigan scores 40 on Oklahoma, I guarantee Sunday morning or whatever, everybody is gonna be on Bryce Underwood saying this kid is amazing. This kid is. I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think we're gonna put up 40 on them, but 30 or 28-14 Michigan, that would be awesome. 21-17 either way. Big Dog, I agree with you. Pretty much what I got. 21-17 either way. It's going to come down to the end. Whoever makes a couple big plays. You know how those big games are. It's 1 or 2 plays. 1 or 2 plays swings the game. Whoever makes those 1 or 2 big plays.
But like I said, though,
home game for Oklahoma. Yep, home game. We play them at home next year.
But I said this, that if Michigan goes into Oklahoma and beats them, doesn't matter if it's by 1 or 100. If Michigan go in there and beat them, I'm telling you now, watch Michigan the rest of the way until they get until they get to the playoffs. But it's too early for that. Just second game of the year. Did y'all watch Michigan struggle at home against New Mexico 130? You know,
I mean, I wouldn't even really
first say game of the year, Amber. Yeah, and Ty Simpson Burner, I don't either. That's why I'm picking Michigan. I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. And so everybody else can go kick rocks. That's how I see it. So I'm picking Michigan.
I'm gonna
Oklahoma.
I'm going to get out of here
Thank
too
you.
with you. I got something I got to do too, but I'll leave it at that. That's the game of the weekend, Saturday night, ABC. We got Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler. My opinion, the two best announcers in college football. Whole nation's going to be watching. So, yeah, everyone tune into that game and go blue. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. And so appreciate you, Uncle Jacob, for coming. Everyone else, please hit, if you have not hit the like button, thankful for 40 something of you all in the chat. Again, don't make things so personal. Just learn that if I'm not telling you got to like whatever, but you do need to love the person. Okay. So anyway, Coach Al said last statement right here. Okay, Kimberly, we got you. We'd love to see Justice Haynes have a big game. Yeah, me too. If Underwood keeps his composure and the player around him produces, Michigan will win. If OU wins the turnover battle, is Boomer.
Yep, it's going to come down to Underwood's composure on the road. Brett Venables is a really good defensive mastermind. He's going to throw a lot of exotic pressures at Underwood that he's never, ever, ever seen before in high school, obviously. It's a whole different world and a whole different – I mean, you're talking about a whole different ball game now. Brett Venables has stuff that Bryce Underwood has never even thought about in his life. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be – if he can confuse Underwood and get pressure on him, we could be in trouble, but – Bryce Underwood looks like, I'm not going to say the best, I'm just going to say he's super polished. Bryce Underwood's really polished for a true freshman. Polished meaning like he has good mechanics. He's really poised and calm and collected. So if there's a freshman that can handle this, I think it's him. But we're going to see Saturday night. Yeah. And then Jeff had one final question, and then we can get out of here. I think Jeff said stats for Oklahoma and who are we worried about on their team. Basically just John Mateer. Oklahoma does not have a good running game. I watched some of their game. Jaden Ott, their All-American running back, is still coming back from injury. He only had one carry on Saturday. Oklahoma doesn't have much of a running game. I think their leading running back had 44 yards. Oklahoma is not going to be able to run the ball on us, I don't think, at all. But if they do, it's going to be with Mateer. Mateer is pretty much their whole offense. They do have Deion Burks and they have a couple good receivers, but their whole offense runs through Mateer. And Mateer has never played a team as good as Michigan before.
Yeah.
He's not used to this level of competition, so we'll see what we can do to get after him. But
Mateer left the quote-unquote the Big Ten, Pac-12, and came to the SEC. Where
Mateer's never played a team. Different. He's never, ever played anyone even close to Michigan, ever.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it's going to be the same. It's going to be a wake-up call for him, too. Not only Bryce Underwood. It's going to be the same thing for him.
And it's going to be welcome to the
Bobby
big
says, are we going to Oklahoma or a home game? It's at Oklahoma, Bobby. We play them at home next season.
So anyway, you know what I mean? You to give the word for the week. I have one, effort. I was going to put dominate, but we got dominated. So the word for the week, y'all, is effort. Effort. You got to put forth effort. Back in my day, there was a word called inertia. Inertia is called energy, rubbing two things together to produce something. Well, effort. That's what that's our inertia. That's our word for the week. Effort. Got to be some effort put forth. I'm not questioning your character. I could care less about who you're kicking it with, but are you putting forth the effort in everything you do? So that's the word for the week is effort. I know some people don't like how some things come across, but and I don't pussyfoot around. I'll address stuff. I really do. But the thing about it is, one last time, I could care less if you come to the game in a spaceship. What is your production on the field, on the court, in the classroom, on your job? What does your production look like? And that's all Piano Man worries about. So anyway, that's all for the show today. Let's be sure. Let's tune in with B Sharp tonight at 6 p.m. That'd be 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Everybody going to the West. You know what time it is for you out there. And just remember, again, thank Uncle Jacob for coming. For Big Ten Tuesday. We'll be right back here at it again next Tuesday. Yep. But every Tuesday is Big Ten Tuesday. And I know some of our SEC folks don't like it, but this is my show. I do it how I want to do it. And me and Jacob met in a chat, and I just asked him to come on, and Amber helped me out with that, and so here we are, and I like that. So I look forward to Big Ten Tuesday, and me
Did
and
the
my
new
wife,
rankings just come out? I saw someone commented, Amber said in the chat, Alabama's unranked. Did the new rankings already come out? The new rankings, the week 2 rankings do come out today.
Yeah.
So I'm just shocked. You guys went from 8 to unranked. I find that hard to believe. Holy smokes! I thought you guys would be like down near like 20. But
I'm about to tell you.
I'm gonna get out of here too. I do have one thing I got to do too. But yeah, I'll see all of you guys on Tuesday, guys. I appreciate all the kind comments, and like I said, I'm either gonna be really super happy on Tuesday, or I'm going to be just like you guys are this week, down just horribly bad and sad and pissed off. So you guys some of you guys are probably going to hope to see that, and that's okay too. That's how football goes. That's football season. But yeah, I'll see you guys all next Tuesday.
That's right. And just remember, stay focused, drive, and go forward.
Yep.
In the name of let me see, I saw Bama at 13. We'll see later on, and 401k crew and everybody, y'all know, I'll keep you posted between me and Dwight. We'll keep you posted on where everybody is, and but don't forget tonight, let's go out and support Be Sharp and others that may be on their podcast. And just always remember, you can do all things through Christ that gives you strength, and that includes loving everybody. And so let's just focus on that. And as I always end, I don't know everything. I'm no expert, but I just know what I'm talking about. And so with that being said, have a great day, everybody. God bless you. And now and just continue to do your thing. Now, as I always ended, Uncle Jacob, let me see, Buster, 3-Stroke Charlie, Billy, y'all know what's up. I don't have to tell you anymore. But anyway, Buster, you still need a job. It's waiting on you. I promise you it's waiting on you. And the results of it will be nice for you. 3-Stroke Charlie, your urologist will see you now. And Billy, find you some tennis shoes with a heel in it. And then you'll be a little taller so you can play basketball. And so y'all have a great day. God bless. Roll Tide. Everybody have a great day. And I'll see you tomorrow morning on the long run. God bless you.
See you Tuesday. Go Blue.
And get Roll Tide, go Blue. See you tonight with Be Sharp, Sharpshooter Sport Talk. Roll Tide, everybody. Have a great day.